welcome to another edition of the Above the Bridge podcast. I'm your host, Thaddeus. First thing I want to do is shout out our sponsors. We have Defend Hawaii. They've been our sponsor from the very start. If you go to their website, defendhawaii.com, check out the new drops they have. They got some new stuff for the UH football. They have some new stuff coming out for the fall catalog. Go check them out at their store in Windward Mall called No One. If not, defendhawaii.com, promo code ATBpod upon checkout. Receive 15% off your entire purchase order. Next, we have IREP Detail Supply. I just washed and waxed my truck using their products, and my truck is looking super brand new. Go check them out if you want to detail your car. They have waxes, polishes, ceramic coating, anything you need to make your car brand new. Go check it out. They have a store in Temple Valley Shopping Center in Kahaluu, or you can go to irepdetailsupply.com, promo code ATBpod upon checkout, 15% off your entire purchase order. Next, we have Hawaii Candy Factory, and you've seen their candies everywhere. They're in the cute little packages called Noms. Go check them out at their website, and it's hawaiicandyfactory.com, promo code ATBpod upon checkout, and you'll receive 10% off your entire purchase order. And last but not least, we have our newest sponsor. It's Medicinal Mushrooms Hawaii. And if you go to their website, medmushroomshigh.com, you can receive 40% off your first tincture of either lion's mane or chaga mushrooms. If you don't know what lion's mane does, it's known to increase energy, focus, memory, and improve your mood in 3 to 5 days. The chaga mushrooms has been known to boost your immune system, fight inflammation, and balance your gut health. I've been taking both of these on the daily. I put 3 drops of each one into my coffee every morning, and I've been loving the benefits I've been having from it. These mushrooms are locally grown here in Hawaii. Again, go to their website, medmushroomhigh.com, all capitals, ATBpod upon checkout, and 40% off your first tincture of lion's mane or chaga. Aloha. Okay, this week, my guest is somebody I've known for years. He worked with me at a couple concerts and stuff back in the day. He's running his own production and film company called Cool Films. Regan Kuali'i, what's up, man?
What's up, boys? How's it going?
Bruh, when I first met you, you was a photographer and one fucking MMA fighter.
Yeah, all crazy. Yeah, you
Yep,
think
and
about
you was working with Ray for a lot of different concerts, and
yeah,
bruh, I always admired your work ethic and attention to detail. I mean, we did some big shows, and bruh, it wasn't easy, and plus, you was good fun to be around. So, Hilo boy, huh?
Hey, we gotta represent the good vibes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Bruh, so how did you make your way out of Hilo? Just through that was when you were competing, huh?
Yeah. So, uh, a lot of the reason why I moved out was because to fight, like you said, like I pick up fighting like later on, like in my early 20s, and from there I just kept doing it, and it was doing well for me. So I was like, fuck, might as well move someplace where it's dope, right? Which was Vegas, and
Yeah.
that was 2013. I never left since.
Oh, was that long ago?
11 years, dude. I've been gone for a long
Bruh.
time. Been
Yeah.
chalking it up. But like, it's like, bro, it's honestly like Hawaii will always have my heart, but that's my home right now. It's kind of crazy
Yeah.
to,
How do you like living in Vegas though?
it took a little getting used to. Just with the whole, like, the lifestyle was okay. Like, I didn't like the lifestyle wasn't not like hard to change to. It was just going from like something so green, like
Yeah.
Hawaii to like
Yeah.
a desert. And I'm like, fuck, what is this? This is so like, okay, I'm just here to work, and that's the mindset I had. So, but yeah, that was probably the hardest like part of like transitioning was just the environment, like as far as like heat. It was hot when I moved. I moved in August. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, it was It sucked, but I'm glad I made the move.
So you love being in Vegas now?
Yes, like there's so, I mean, as far as opportunity wise, it helped me grow. And obviously with filming, it helped me get exposure a lot. So like
Yeah.
the life that I had in Vegas was definitely a lot more than I had back home. Like I bartended the first time when I moved out here. Like that's what I
Oh,
was doing before I started getting into filming. And it was good money. It was nice. I got to experience a lot of shit that you could only like see in movies and stuff.
yeah.
So for me, like I loved it. Like it was money that I never had before, and just there was so much opportunity, and I was kind of addicted to that.
Oh, that's cool. And you always had that work ethic, but when did you stop competing?
Oh, that's been a long time. I would say maybe 2016, 2017 was my last fight. You know what's so funny about that too? The guy who I last fought, I ended up being his bartender and he was my barback.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. So it was funny. I was like, okay, you might have won that fight, but
Who's leveled
pardon
up?
my French, who's the bitch now?
Grab me ice, cuz.
Hey, give me my ice right now, please.
People
Because
don't
hey,
forget.
he beat me. He beat me fair and square. And it was dope because like back home, you know how fighters are. Everybody's like for the most part stand up. Like
Oh yeah.
that's how Hawaii culture is. Everything is like just stand up. So he was my first person that I fought that wasn't. He was strictly ground. His wrestling was good, and I didn't know how to overcome that. And he beat me.
Oh.
But it's so funny how things come full circle, and he ends up being my bar back while I was bartending, and I got to boss him around.
Hey, that's a dub in my book, bro.
Yeah, yeah, for real. Who gets the last laugh, right? I
Yeah.
was making not trying to be thick, but I was making more money, and you're my boss. I got the boss you around.
Yeah. So what do you still train and move around and stuff? I know you keep in good shape. I see all your videos you running and riding bike.
Yeah, basically, dude, like, yeah, that's all I do now for as far as to keep in shape. I don't know. MMA wasn't, or even like training, like I picked it up along the way. It wasn't something that I did, and
Mm,
that was me. Like I played football. Football was my passion. Like that was what drove me to my early years. Was like, okay, I want to try play football in college, and then you know, obviously we all dream to go play in the NFL,
yeah.
but like so MMA was something that came way later, or even just training was just way later. It was just I was just bored, and like actually the reason why I started fighting because an ex-girlfriend told me I couldn't. So I was like when we broke up, I was like, yo, that's the first thing I'm gonna do was fight. So fighting wasn't in me. Like I played football and I surfed my whole life. That was my only
Oh,
two things I ever really did. But I loved competing, so I just chose, MMA. Just kind of it helped me. It helped me. It brought me to Vegas, which is what
yeah.
also ultimately led me to what I'm doing today.
It's a trip, right? Like when you look in reverse and you kind of look at the timeline of things or events that happen in your past to bring you to where you are, and you kind of connect the dots, and it's like, whoa, if I never do that, or if I made a different choice for this, or if I never try that, I wouldn't be where I am today. It kind of like destiny. How did you where did you start training when you was in Hilo?
So I trained at Penn Training and Fitness, and this guy, it was called Boss MMA at the time. I'm pretty sure it's still called that.
Was that Ross
Um,
the boss?
yeah, Ebenez,
Yeah,
yeah. He,
yeah,
wa-
yeah,
he was
yeah.
him and Shane Nelson and Troy Mandalonis were all like my coaches when I was fighting back home
Oh,
and
rude
whatnot.
dog, huh?
Yeah, 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 yeah. So it was like it's like I said, like fighting wasn't my thing. It just I did have training experience when I was young. I did do jujitsu when I was really young, but there was a point in my life where I had to choose, and it was football, and I chose football. And again, like I started, so that was like when I was 13 when finished doing jiu-jitsu, and then I picked up MMA when I was 21.
Oh,
So for
okay.
like a long period of time, I didn't do shit like as far as MMA wise. I just was playing football, and then after I graduated, I just surfed. And like I said, an ex-girlfriend told me I couldn't fight. So first thing I did was go ahead and like, you know what, fuck this, I'm gonna go fight. And I kept doing it. And it wasn't like again, I wasn't doing it to be good at it. I was just doing it to say fuck you to someone, you know, and I turned out to be okay at it. And then I was like, well, I might as well pursue this and see where it takes me. You know, it wasn't something I was hoping for, but it turned out to be something that was doing well for me at the moment. And
Yeah.
again, like you said earlier, like how life comes to
Yeah.
play, like everything happens for us, like I said, and not everything happens for us, not to us. So like I was supposed to say fuck you to this ex-girlfriend so I could move to Las Vegas and do what I'm doing today, you know, and
Yeah.
everything in between, you know, was meant to happen. And that's why like you said, like I'm a strong believer in that, you know,
Yeah.
like everything happens and it was meant to happen for us. And it's up to you to see what you can do to better yourself from that situation. Yeah.
Yeah. And you always had that good, like I said before, work ethic, and right, you always had on positive attitude. You always was smiling and having fun, and right, it was just good to be around. So how did you even pick up the camera? I remember you're taking pictures first, right?
Well, to be honest, like I guess I guess you can say I'm a jock at heart. Like creativity was never a part of my life. Like I would bring like some stuff around. Like when I traveled, I brought
Yeah.
like a GoPro, but it was honestly like I wasn't really recording. I just recorded like, oh shit, I got a GoPro. You know, I might as well put some stuff together, and then I did some snowboarding stuff and whatnot. But honestly, like sports and athletic stuff was what I was drawn to my whole life. Like
Yeah.
creativity was never in my book. Like nobody in my family but my uncle actually touches a camera, and fuck, he's really good too. My uncle is really, really good at photography. Um, and yeah, like honestly, like if it wasn't for COVID, I probably would have still been bartending or doing something else, to be honest.
Wow. So COVID happened, and that's when you picked up the camera to start taking it.
Well, yeah, I just was bored. So it like I went to go look back because I keep telling this story about how I first started, but I never
Okay.
really I forgot the date. So it was I think COVID happened March 15th or 14th.
Yeah, yeah.
March March 17th or March 16th going into 17th. We had like 3 inches of snow on our mountain in Vegas. And so I was like, fuck, I want to go snowboard, but obviously everything is closed. So I was like, shit, what am I gonna do? So I just packed up a bunch of my like snowboard gear. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go hike. I'm gonna hike like 100 yards and then snowboard down. Do that a couple times and should be enough. And as I'm walking out, I see I see a not like my GoPro. I was actually borrowing the GoPro from a friend. I grab it. I didn't even know if it was charged or not. You know, like I just grabbed it. I was like, oh, I might as well just bring this and see whatever. And then so I videotaped me hiking up and then videotaped me walking like snowboarding down. I did that a couple times. I took the best shots, edited it on my phone. I was like, oh, that's actually kind of fucking fun. So like from that point all the way until like May, I would say, me and my friend Mark Tupas, like who we were both like kind of roommates at the time,
Oh, I know
we would just
him. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Shout out
super
to
we would,
Mark, bro. He's doing good
yes,
things.
dude.
Yeah,
Fuck yeah,
yeah.
he is, and super
Yeah.
proud of the dude. So like we were roommates at that time, and we would just go holo holo everywhere. And I was just videotaping everything, like to the point where him and I would ride. We rode our bikes like almost 20 something miles from where we were living at in Vegas through the strip down to downtown. All and this was all like prime COVID.
Oh,
Like
wow.
it was so crazy. I actually filmed it. I made that was like that was my second video actually that
But
I
you guys didn't
made.
get
Like
busted.
no, like well, we just rode on the street and honestly, like him and I were the only honestly the only people on Las Vegas Boulevard because
Oh, that must
we
have been
went like
sick.
it was dope, dude. I wish my camera skills was good then as it is now because I would have got so much fun stuff. But if it wasn't for COVID, then I would have never got to where I'm at today. You know, so
Yeah.
but it was such a dope experience to go through the Las Vegas Strip, and like I have this again. I think this video is on my Instagram still, if
Oh,
I'm not
okay.
mistaken.
I'll pull it
But
off for sure. Yeah.
but like yeah, it was like the beginning of Cool Films, and actually I was it wasn't even Cool Films then. Like Cool Films kind of came later, but yeah, that's kind of how I started. Was just because of COVID and I was bored and there was nothing else better to do. So, and I just
Ah.
record, yeah, it was sick. It was kind of like, again, everything happens for us. And I'm glad that COVID happened because if not, I still would have been in the industry doing
Yeah.
stuff that I don't want to do, you know?
Yep. I mean, I get it, bro. This whole podcast started because of COVID. I was like, just like you, I was bored and I had a dream of making a podcast, and basically I was being a bitch and never pulled the trigger, and I figured out, bro, like I can talk the talk. It's time to walk the walk, and I got motivated from DJ Hoppa Boy, and bro,
Sick.
I no
Hey, how's
looking
he
back.
doing, dude? Hey, his
He's
mixes are sick, dude.
bro, the mashup Mondays. Bruh, I just got to film his little intro for his last one that he just dropped today. Cause that's
Yeah,
my
yeah, yeah.
neighborhood, bruh. He's walking through, but bruh, I mean, you've known him from back in the day when he wasn't
Yeah,
even
yeah.
DJing, and bruh,
No.
he's definitely built. He has our same work ethic, bruh, and he built his
Yeah.
brand and his skills from hard work and dedication, and he's really passionate about what he does, and it shows. Just kind of like how as individuals we're all passionate about what we do, and it shows. You know what I
Mhm,
mean?
mhm.
Yeah, it's cool to watch his career, bro, and I'm a fan of him. That's my little brother, and it's a trip to see his success, and he helped me a lot with um my podcast because of the editing. I
Yeah.
didn't know anything about editing and videos, and when I first started I had a producer, but he got promoted in his job, so he couldn't do it
Mhm.
anymore. So it was either this thing dies or I'm gonna learn and do them myself. So I'm learning, and yeah, I'm gonna ask you about some editing stuff in a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Guaranteed.
so you picked up filming and you started with the GoPro. And how did you evolve? Like when you were what did you start shooting and start taking it a little more serious?
On my birthday actually. So COVID, like so that July of COVID, um, I was like, shit, this is dope. You know, like I can see myself, and I've had like a few videos in already since then, like practicing and playing, and just honestly, I was just filming all of our shit that was doing COVID. Like again, me and Mark went to this dry lake bed and we just doing donuts with his fucking BMW and just filming random stuff. Like honestly, it was probably one of the best times of my life, like during
Oh
COVID,
yeah.
because there was like we just enjoyed, you know, like there was nothing we could do, and me and
Yeah.
Mark were fucking living the life. Like we was just doing whatever we wanted to do. Hey, we woke up, we ran, and then we would go hiking, and then we would do shrooms in the mountains and get lost for 8 hours while this car was still on. It was not so like it was probably one of the best times I've had, and it helped me grow a lot. And yeah, like on my birthday in July in 2020 was when I decided like fuck, I'm gonna pursue this full time. I'm going
Oh
and
man.
so and on July on that same day I was like, okay, again, I still have my GoPro. At that point I was editing on a real program,
Oh,
which
okay.
is
What were you using?
Premiere. I was
Oh, you
doing
use
Adobe
Premiere.
Premiere. So
Okay.
I started like so my steps was like, okay, I really like what I'm doing. I'm editing it on my phone. It's fun. Okay, but I know this is not the program where professionals do it, right?
Yeah.
And I got to be able to learn that program, do what I hope to do, you know, like or hope to create and learn that program really well. And so it took me like a few months from like again, so from like May to July was when I was working with that program, and it was fun. Like I learned it. I
Yeah.
taught myself everything was taught through YouTube. Like but I learned how to edit. I learned how to work my camera.
Oh
through
wow.
YouTube my first year.
So
Like
you
again,
got
I
a
had
new
no
camera too.
new camera, not knowing what the fuck I was doing. Like I bought a camera after like I decided to like take it full time. Like, okay, if I'm gonna take it full time, buy a real camera. I bought a real camera, not knowing nothing. I didn't know how to work a camera. I only knew how to work a GoPro, which was just basically turn it on and you just point and shoot. You know, like exposure, all that extra shit that I didn't know shit. So I was like, well, fuck, I really liked what I'm doing. So it wasn't hard to go and find out how to learn all this stuff, you know?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
YouTube was the best thing, like at the point of having like learning how to do shit. And it's crazy because I feel like even till today I'm still learning so
Oh
much,
yeah.
you know?
Yep. It's the University of
And
YouTube.
yeah, dude. And on it, and it's so dope like to see like I I found my passion later in life. And like you said, passion for DJ Hoppa, passion for chef. You know,
Yeah,
like chef was always a chef, but Ipono didn't come until 2018, 2017 at the earliest. So it's like
yeah,
we found our passion and we went full on in and we took the risk because like a lot of ego had to be put to the side for me to pursue this full time. You
oh
know,
yeah.
and I was bartending, making decent money. I but I had to take the risk and leave the job. So when I decided to like do it full time, it was a big risk for me, you know, like and a big risk not just for money financial wise, but like ego wise. Like my girlfriend at the time, like she helped me out a lot. Like she let me use her old car that she had laying around because I didn't have to do a car payment. You know, like it was a part of
Yeah.
the risk there was a part of the shit that I had to deal with in order to be successful. And like you said, like everything happens for a reason. You know, like it was meant to
Yep.
happen that way because if not, then I would have never taken the risk. You know,
And you
like I would have
bet
never
on
taken the
yourself,
risk.
huh? Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's like it was crazy like to see like all the shit that I had to do to get this far was like there was a lot of taking the pride and ego out of it. You know, like nobody wants to
Hmm.
say they have their girlfriend's car that they're using that's not, you know, like it's not the best shape. It's not what I lifted Tacoma like most people like back home or anything, you know, like we all like the nicer things in life, but I knew what I wanted to do, which was filming at that point.
Wow.
And I was like, I don't give a shit about anything else. I'm gonna focus and get what I need to do to get done and to be successful.
Bruh, that's an amazing story. And a lot of success happens with humbling yourself and starting from ground zero keeps the fire and the hunger. And like you said, learning is fun, bro. And like for me, I'm learning how to video edit and I'm having the funnest time learning because I've never learned something new in years. So like I always say my mom's tombstone where she lays to rest, she was an
Mm.
educator and her heading on it says you learn every day until you go to heaven. And I felt like I wasn't really taking that into reality because I wasn't um motivating myself to learn new things. And Brad, recently it's been that way. And Brad, like you said, it's fun and exciting. And when you learn something new and then use that tool, is fucking dope. You know what I mean?
When it works, right? When you see
Yeah,
what you learn, and again, it doesn't always work the first time, but when you figure it out, it's like probably one of the most rewarding things you can ever have. Like
yeah,
when I figure out, and that's why I kind of like I like running through obstacles in a sense. Like I like when obstacles come along because fuck, it's an opportunity for me to get better. You know, like
yeah,
it's an opportunity for me to fucking figure out my weaknesses that I have and become stronger. You know, as a person or as a videographer or yeah, like just as a person in general. You know, like it's the struggles is super fucking important that I realize because when you're given something so easily, it's easily to be forgotten too. You know,
yeah, yeah.
like when you work for something, it sticks in your brain so much harder. It's like fuck, I had to go through all of that shit to get where I am today. It's like fuck that, I'm not gonna give it up that easy, you know.
Oh yeah.
But when you don't work, when something comes to you so easy, like oh fuck, you know that another opportunity like that can come around. It's okay, you know, like you don't really care about it. You're not really motivated to continue it or whatever because it came easy. But that's why like I feel like obstacles is probably the most important thing someone can go through in life, to be better
Yep.
as a person in their career or anything they're trying to be better in.
Troubleshooting, huh? So what
Hey,
it
troubleshooting is what
troubleshooting.
Jeff and I say. Yes, yes. Troubleshoot the system. Hey, who lead the system?
Yeah, yeah. So what was like your first like gigs that you were shooting and like, oh, this is gonna start paying me, and you started getting really into it? Like, what were you shooting at that time? That was before you started doing work with Chef, huh?
Hmm. Well, in the beginning, to be honest, I was doing it for fun. Like even after I decided to take it full time, like I was like,
Okay.
I still need to enjoy this. So me and this one MMA fighter is Ty Gwerder, and he was basically like we helped each other out at that point where he needed content, obviously. And most fighters always need, I mean, not most, every fighter wants content, right?
Yeah.
It helps them get sponsorships. It helps them get better pay in their contracts because they have a following. So he allowed me to come and follow him pretty much wherever he was at Addiction Couture, and that's how basically I grew to take it professionally. Like I I was filming, excuse me, I was filming his fight camps, and
Oh
he
wow.
actually brought me along to a couple of his fight weeks that he had when he was fighting for Bellator.
Oh, okay.
And so like I got to experience like a full fight week with a decent, like it was a cool experience and whatnot. So like
Yeah.
technically that was my first professional like gig. That's when I started doing it with the new camera that I got and the editing program and really taking it serious, trying to get better each time. But it wasn't paying, like, but that would, to me, I consider that like my first professional gig, like
Okay.
regardless of pay, like before Chef, right?
Yeah.
And whatnot. Like I had some other paying gigs throughout, like, but it was like pennies at that time, and but I was
Yeah.
just so grateful, like somebody was willing to pay me for something that I was still kind of learning, but
Yeah.
they saw something in me, and I was like, fuck. When people did that, like it motivated me more to do better. Like fuck, they believe in me. Like I cannot let them down. I cannot
Yeah.
let, like, if, for example, Chef down because they believe in me. Like they're willing to spend their hard earning money to put into something that they technically don't need, but it helps their business and
Yeah.
or help their image as a fighter or whatever it is. So like I took that to heart. Like they're willing to pay me and for their hard work, because at that moment I was like, fuck, I'm struggling, right? I'm aspiring videographer, content creator, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And so any kind of money was like, fuck, I was so grateful for, and whatnot. So yeah, like for me, like that was like my first professional gig that I took seriously in my head was when I was filming my Fentai.
Oh, that's super cool. So you were saying like prior to that you didn't really think of yourself creativity, like you didn't have a creative aspect.
Mm.
While you were starting to get into it, did you develop that creativity, and when did you realize like, oh brah, I'm kind of creative, I'm kind of learning this, and I can create my own images and kind of put together videos how I see would look cool? Like that's when the creativity comes out, huh?
Honestly, it only happened like probably in the recent like few months.
Oh wow.
And yeah, like, and to this point, like I still feel like I have so much to learn. So like I'm my worst critic, honestly.
Yeah.
Every single video that I see that I make, I always find something wrong.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't finding my creativity nest. Like it was more just wanting to be better than I was yesterday.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
every single video that I made, I was like, fuck, I like make it better. Like I could make it better. I gotta fit, or if I didn't know how to make it better, I was like, fuck, how do I make it better? You know what I mean? And so like the creativity just comes out naturally because I just want to be better than I was yesterday. Like
Yeah.
I was never a creative person. I never had I never took art in high school. I never
Yeah.
did any kind of creative stuff. Like I was your typical jock throughout high school, throughout even after high school. But it was something that I enjoyed doing. I saw that it made people smile, made people feel good when I made videos like that. And it just made me want to do it more just because like it was something I loved doing. And like I really like a quote that's been passing around like in my head a lot and I've been seeing on social media is like find something you love doing and doing it for free.
Yeah.
And that's basically what I was doing in the beginning, right? Like I was doing it because I actually love doing it. And I still do. I still do love doing it. But now people pay me for it, and
Yeah.
it's dope. It's dope. I still humble myself like and see like, oh shit, to where I am today, like I never expected it,
Yeah.
and so like that's why like I'm not a I guess I say I am becoming creative,
Yeah.
but I'm more driven to be better than I was yesterday.
Oh,
And
I see what
not
you
I'm
mean.
not yeah, I'm not trying to be the most creative person. I'm not trying to be the best videographer. I'm just trying to be better than I was yesterday. Like I'm trying to make a better video next time, each time. And having that mentality will only come with success, because you're not
Yeah.
trying to make a lot of money. You're not trying to do this. You're just trying to be better.
Yep.
And that's what drove me each time. Or even like when I don't really like I look up to a lot of people and I don't get really envious because I want to learn what they're doing. Like oh
Yeah.
shit, that looks sick. I want to know that. Like I want to be able to learn that. Like it just for some reason I'm so addicted to learning my craft. Like I don't have no ego to it. I don't have any kind of like spite to anything. I just want to learn. And
That's
it's and
the
it's and
hey,
it's fun and
it's a simple way to live because you're just pretty much competing against the person you were yesterday.
yeah, it's the guy you see in the mirror. That's the only person I care about as far as trying to get better. Like I'm not trying to
Yeah.
beat anybody because there's enough to go around. There's so
Yeah.
much with social media. As long as the internet is up, I got a job. my
Yeah,
job,
for
my job
sure.
is my job is secured for sure.
Yeah,
Like
me too.
the day the internet goes down, then fuck. I guess I got to start building walls or building houses or something. But at the
Wrenching
moment, it's like
cars.
fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, we cherry for now. We
Yeah.
cherry at the moment. But yeah, no, dude, it's just wanting to be better. Not to be better than someone, not to be bring down anyone, just to be better than myself that I was.
Yeah. So how did you link up with Gene Chef Iapono? Because you guys seem like on perfect match with the same real vibe and the same fucking work ethic and pretty much the don't give a fuck. I'm trying to fucking be better and be good for other people, bro. I like his vibe and you guys kind of match. So you guys seem like you guys match together with leveling each other up, but how'd you even link up with him?
So I knew Chef pretty much since I've been in Vegas. Like we
Okay.
would see each other out. We had like similar friends in circles and whatnot. Um, and
Hawaii
we became
ties,
friends on
yeah.
Instagram. And we came
Okay.
and we became friends on Instagram. Then obviously COVID started happening and I started creating videos and he saw it, and I went to go visit him when he opened Ipono.
In
And
Cali.
so so like
Oh,
I saw him
nice.
doing his thing in Cali. I was like, again, the same girl that I was with at the time, like I was like, babe, we gotta go to fucking Cali. My friend making it, he has this Hawaii restaurant and it's the food looks bomb. I never tried it yet, but the food looks bomb. I was like, we gotta go. So I actually went to go visit him during COVID. And you know what's so funny? I actually had COVID when I went to go to his place. I couldn't taste shit. I couldn't taste shit, dude. I was so mad. So the one time I made time to go see Chef during COVID, it was when I had COVID and I couldn't taste any of his food. I was so mad, dude.
You're like, what's the hype, bro?
I
I
was like,
cannot taste nothing.
fuck. No, like I couldn't like I knew the food was good, just like what? I was like, fuck, I cannot taste nothing, like what the
Oh,
fuck? So it's funny, like I had COVID and I went to go visit him. Like I had a trip planned at that time, and so we went I went there and I, like I was like, oh yeah, everything good, bro, everything good. I was like, fuck, babe, I never taste nothing. But I know it's good. I know it's good. I know it's good. But yeah, and then so we had a conversation that same day. He's like, "Hey, dude, like I see you doing video, dude. Like, oh, that's kind of cool." And like, "Oh yeah, yeah, I just play around, just doing whatever." That was just with my GoPro. And so fast forward, I think maybe to like that winter when I started doing more stuff with Ty, he actually hit me up and he brought me out. He brought me out for his grand opening of his Costa Mesa location.
Okay.
And so we did our first video then, and we just kind of grew a relationship until like maybe like a year and a half ago when I started working with him full time. And yeah, and basically we just been grinding together since I would say as 2019, late 2019, early 2020 is when we started like together more full time. And yeah, basically we just been working together since.
Wow. So it's like what you said. Somebody seen something in you and believed in you and
Yeah,
knew he could grow with you. And bruh,
yeah.
your guys' content is next level. For one thing, Chef is probably the most perfect guy for being front of the camera. Like he
It makes
is,
my job easy.
bruh, he get action.
Makes my job easy, and that's why like I always say when people like compliment the video and this and that, like, well, it takes two to tango, like
Yeah.
if it wasn't for his personality, his experience in the culinary industry, and his knowledge, because bro, like you can talk that much shit, you gotta have proof to back it up, right?
Oh
And
yeah.
it's not shit, it's truth, like he's talking real facts. And like you said, like that's why we gravitate towards each other. Like he might be more open to speaking the way he does in front of a camera, and I'm not.
Yeah.
But our mentality are the same. Like and that's why we get along so well, because it clicked. And
Yeah.
so then I think that's about probably a lot of our success is that we're not just good at making stuff. We can have that connection, as just like homies.
Yeah. So when you guys come up with your video concepts, you guys sit down and try storyboard it and map it out or talk about it, or you guys just straight shoot from the hip kind?
Yes and no. Our best shit is honestly from the hip,
Yeah.
and our like honestly, yeah. Like that Yelp video that we just posted,
Yeah.
that
I
that
reposted
was
it. That was hilarious.
that was on the fly, dude. And that was actually a long time ago. That
Oh, for
was
real?
yeah, that was over a year ago.
Oh.
And so quick story about that. That video got taken down randomly for no reason. He didn't get a notification. He didn't get anything saying that, oh, your video has got taken down. He went on Instagram one day and the video was just gone.
Oh
Like
wow.
it had like 300,000 views at that time before it got taken down. And so we were like, fuck, just repost it. Like nothing's wrong with like old footage. And at that point, like we had so much content out that people probably forgot about that video.
Yeah.
And so that one was honestly, hey, he's like, record this. And I was like, fuck, okay. So I'm starting to film. I mean, I kind of had an idea what was going on, right? Like it wasn't just,
Yeah.
but he was like, okay. Like when he approached me with that idea to make a Yelp video and honestly, I think I may have told him this, but I honestly wasn't happy with that video. I wasn't happy. I was like, fuck, you know what? I just got to create something and put it together.
Yeah,
It
it's
was
not
like,
like you can call him
I
back
just,
again.
it was like I just gotta create, yes, because that's how we shoot. A lot of
Yeah.
our shit is raw, like just when we're there, and how he feels is when we shoot. And that's what I like about it, because it doesn't just like it's not just real, but it also challenged me creatively. Like I gotta be able to figure out how to put unplanned stuff together and to make
And
it
make it
right,
look
to make it
clean. Yeah.
flow, to make it look good. And it's been a trial and error since we started, but yeah, it just works together. And I feel like we've got our flow. Like we'll bounce ideas off each other. And again, a lot 90, I would say more than 9, like I would say 95% of the stuff that we do is on the fly. Like we have an idea going into it, but what is being said, what is being like shown, pretty much is on the fly.
Is it easy to do, or you get planning? Okay, film again, or redo, or like, what was that, take
Oh
two,
yeah,
take
yeah,
three?
yeah, 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 yeah. Sometimes, especially with the dialogue now, that again in the beginning we were learning each other, so I wasn't able to like, hey, I think we need to redo that again. Like I didn't want to be
Yeah.
an inconvenience. Like,
Oh, I see what you mean.
but now I see how me asking him to do the right way, and I guess you can see in engagement, the likes and all that stuff of like,
Yeah.
okay, me getting it right before is only going to help. And
Yeah.
we built that confidence between each other where we could help each other, like both, like even him, he a lot, like we created this like again, this video won't be posted until later, but I was just making a video for myself in the back. This just happened like 2 days ago. And he was watching me making the video, and he's like, I got an idea. And then so we added what we added to it, and it became, it was like, oh shit, this video is going to be sick. And I honestly, I can't wait to release that video, because that's also going to be big news for the brand,
Oh, nice.
with Ipono and stuff like that. But like that's how it works with us. Like sometimes it's a lot of his idea, and I bring his idea to life. And there's sometimes where he needs inspiration, and that's where I come. And it's probably one of the better duels I had. Like,
Oh,
and that's why
yeah.
I've been with him for so long. It's not just because it works, right? Like he take care.
Yeah.
Like he might have a punk ass attitude on Instagram and whatnot, but bruh, like the guy really cares. He really takes care of the people he has in his circle. Like we was just at dinner tonight, for his whole front of the house, cooks and stuff like that, and it wasn't like at the cheapest place. He took all us out to Nobu tonight,
Oh,
and
wow.
like he had more than 10 like of his workers, but that's how much he cares. Like he may seem like the hard guy and like don't give a fuck attitude, but he's equally as caring. He's equally
Yeah.
as like giving. And I mean, Nobu ain't cheap, right? So it's
Yeah.
like he really cares about his the people that, because without his circle, like he said tonight, is none of this would be where it's at. Like so, and that's a lot of why like it's not hard to work with him, because he just is, like he has that good side of part of him too.
Yeah, he definitely opened up to me about how he was struggling when he first was starting his restaurant, and with his
Mhm.
hard work, dedication, and he built it, bro. And just like you, bro, he gambled on himself, and he told me he had to sell his chain, and bro, it's just, I like hearing those stories. It's inspiring, and
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, it resonates well with local people, because he's real as fuck, but he has aloha, and
hmm,
it's hard to find people like that. Everybody's
yeah,
trying to blow smoke up people's ass, or trying to use people to gain something for themselves. He's just real, and that's how you always been too. But your guys' videos have been blowing up, and
yeah.
it helps the brand. Like you said, we're in a time and age where social media has become a staple in marketing.
Mm.
And what you guys are creating and doing is what's getting his brand being built, noticed, and his personality is coming across, and your creativity is being shown. Where do you see this thing going, bro? Like, what do you see the future of this thing with him and you, as well as you, and whatever endeavors you want to further your videography?
Like I said, that video that we had like mistakenly just come together.
Yeah.
Like Ipono is not just gonna be like a local town name. Ipono will be something that's worldwide, like worldwide for sure. And at this point, yeah, like there's so much good news to be shared, but obviously that's not me to share. It's
Yeah,
when it's
in
time and the
time, in
place.
time. Yeah,
But
yeah.
but to me, there's I don't think there's any limit. And like he's been saying in his videos, like there there is that local food there in Vegas that is good. You know, like they have like a solid local food like place in like. But what we're bringing, not just to Las Vegas, but what we're gonna bring to everywhere we go, it's more than just food. You know, it's more than
Yeah.
just food. It's the vibe. It's the culture. It's the attitude. It's everything. Like we have, and that's why like it's not hard to be around him because he has so much ambition and so much
Yeah.
like drive to want to like honestly take over. And we're not trying to like shit on anybody else, but we're here to take over. And the stuff like again the stuff that we have planned and all that stuff is I don't see any other people doing it, not just in Las Vegas, but anywhere,
Yeah.
anywhere. There's no like to me like I don't think there's any local food spot doing what we're doing and what we're about to do anywhere else. And again, there's so much other like reputable good spots back home. We're not shitting on anybody. We're not shitting anybody in Vegas. But yeah, fuck Zippies.
Bro, that video had me dying, bro. I know
Yeah,
you
yeah,
guys
yeah.
got a
It was,
lot of backlash for it, but bro, it's still being real.
but you know the shitty part about it is like a lot of people miss the message of that.
Yeah.
It, so, and I'm glad we get to talk about this because I get to share it too in more recent events. Is like Chef is we're going into a casino. We're not going to be affected by Zippies. We're going to have the traffic of a casino, so we're not worried about that. Nor do we need a casino to create that traffic. We've been creating what we've creating, and the traffic is just coming. You know,
Yeah.
and Vegas won't be any different. Honestly, I feel like Vegas is going to be so much more of an animal than Costa Mesa is, and a lot of people are not ready for it, you know. And but the whole message with the Zippies thing, it was there's so much small local businesses that are on the outskirts of of a casino and that rely on local business, like just purely local business.
Yeah.
Um, Zippies had opened up a location already, right? They're about to open up a location, but that location is going to be the hub for multiple locations that they're opening up in Las Vegas.
I see
So
what
they're
you
trying
mean.
to like do
One chain.
yeah, like a chain, just like back home. And again, Chef is not going to be. We're not going to be affected by it because we're not a part of the local. Or we're part of the local food scene, but we're in a casino, so we're going to get traffic no matter what. From
Yeah.
guests visiting and all that and whatnot. But when we made the video, they only announced their first location. And Chef already said in that, I think pretty much in that video, he's like, yeah, they're planning to take over. They're planning to open multiple spots. So us as local people, we're all about convenience. Even the way we talk, we
Yeah.
shorten everything up. Like everything is shortened up. So imagine like, okay, you got this one spot that you really like to go to before that was fucking good, whatever, whatever, but you're lazy
Yeah.
and there's a fucking Zippies down the road.
Yeah.
Now that small business that only has one location, but Zippies has 25 locations in Hawaii, that's owned by one person
Yeah.
and one family, which is okay. Like good for them. Hey, they found the recipe, they figured it out. We're not hating, but he's fighting for those small businesses,
I see what you
and some
mean.
of those small businesses was talking shit. Like they were like against him and saying that, oh, this is not porno, this is not whatever. I'm like, right, he's talking
Helping you
shit, yeah,
guys.
but he's like, bro, he's not going to be affected by Zippies. He's going to be in a casino,
Yeah.
and
And
it's
plus
the small
local people,
businesses,
yeah, local people visiting Vegas, they can go Zippies anytime they like. Like local people that's going to Vegas to cruise in Vegas, they're gonna want to try your guys' stuff because they cannot get them here in Hawaii. I can go like 2 minutes and get Zippies. I can get them freaking DoorDash to my house in like
right?
an hour. It's exclusive. I cannot call and get iPono in Hawaii.
Right,
I gotta
right.
fly to California or Vegas. You know what I mean? So the local people are gonna want to go there because they can't get they can't get
Right.
it here. You know what I mean?
And it's crazy to think too, because when Chef made that video, they only announced their first location. They already announced the second location in Las Vegas. So
Oh
imagine
wow.
that's they haven't even opened up their first one and they announced the second one.
Oh
So now it's like, okay, yeah, you're right. Chef was talking shit about Zippies. Yeah, for the people who live in Las Vegas, don't get to experience Zippies a lot. So they're gonna go to it, right?
yeah,
It's vice versa, right? You're coming to Vegas to try something different. But now that Zippies is here, now all the locals just want to go there because they never had Zippies in a long time.
yeah,
So what about these other small mom and pop local spots that
yeah,
rely on local people that help them survive? Like again, yeah, there's enough for everybody to go around and eat. But when they don't go eat at your place, and then what? When you're not
yeah,
able to pay for your food, and then what? Pay for your rent because there's a Zippy's down the road that's taking all your business.
yeah,
So it's like, okay, yeah, like you thinking there's enough until when you don't have enough for yourself, right? And then all like, oh, okay, fuck, what I gotta do now? Oh shit, maybe Chef was right, or maybe Chef was wrong, and you don't give a fuck, and you're glad that Zippy's took you out of business. Then cool,
yeah,
hey, that's you. You know what I mean? That's all on you. That hasn't nothing to do with us. But it just like that's why I follow him. That's why
yeah,
I am with the iPono team, is because what he's saying and what he believes in is like real values. Like he wants local businesses, even in Vegas, to do well. Like he
yeah.
wants them to do well. And if Zippy's was like a franchise, which is not, right? It's all owned by one family. Then okay, like people who are locals or whoever it is are able to make some money. Like fine, but
And
they're
franchise
there
them,
to
huh?
take,
Yeah,
yeah, they're there to take all of Vegas in every corner, and that's why like they already announced their second location before they even opened their first.
yeah,
And it's just like Chef was said in the Zippy's videos, like they're not here to just open one spot; they're here to open multiple spots,
yeah,
and
yeah,
that's only going to affect local businesses, like on the street, So it's yeah, like that's like a lot of his craziness that he talks about. A lot of the people think it's like being an asshole. It's the truth.
yeah.
It's the real truth, and it's just crazy. Some people don't see it.
Well, I mean, time will tell, and like you said, you guys are leveling up your guys' selves, and you guys are changing the game, and you're not even changing the game out of maliciousness. It's just trying to be better than how you guys was yesterday. Right, you guys been coming to Oahu a lot and filming like a kind of a cool segment. What has that been about?
So the whole term Hawaiian food, yeah, or
Yeah,
Hawaiian barbecue, has been thrown a lot around, especially up here. And up here, a lot of people mistake what Hawaiian food is and what Hawaiian barbecue is. And so the whole concept with this Hawaii street food tour, which is the term that he created, which is something that has been reached recently. Like you never us when we grew up, everything was local food or Hawaiian food,
yeah,
right? Oh, we're
yeah,
gonna have Hawaiian food. Chicken katsu, yeah. We go to the Hawaiian restaurant downstairs and down the road and get Hawaiian food, which would be chicken katsu or like fried noodles, all that kind of stuff. That's not
yeah,
Hawaiian food, right?
yeah, yeah,
So the Hawaii street food tour was to educate people on why it's called Hawaii street food and why Hawaiian food is not chicken katsu,
yeah,
why Hawaiian food is not kalbi, not meat jun, all the shit, basically Asian. Like 90% of what people think Hawaiian food is Asian. And
yeah.
it's crazy to see. And so that Hawaii street food tour thing was basically that with our creativeness and just making honestly, we just make any kind and we just run with it.
Yeah, and you guys
Yeah.
filming like those films have been educational but fun as well, and you guys throwing shine on local businesses here in Hawaii, you know what I mean?
And so it also shows like, see, he's not here to put people out of business. Like, fuck, we could probably come to Hawaii and do successful too, right? Like,
Oh yeah.
we've created he created his brand, and he has a brand. It's not just food. Like his videos, his attitude, everything comes with it. And that's what people like. It's not just his food. His food is to me probably the best local food I've ever had. You know, like
Yeah.
a Hawaii. Let me get it right. The best Hawaii street food I ever had, and on top of that, it's just like he brings a professional culinary expertise to it. You know, like he doesn't just make your typical beef stew, patele stew, or like kalua pig and all that kind of stuff. Like he innovates, and it's like it's fucking different, you know, and that's what Hawaii needs, you know. And I feel like that's what like to change the game, to elevate it, because it's been the same shit for so long. You know, like we go
Yeah.
to Hawaii places, it's been just the same stuff. You know what to get from a Hawaii place: terry chicken, terry beef, kalbi, local mocos. You know, like
Yeah.
when you go to a spot, you don't know what you're getting. You know, and but you know it's something from like with flavors from Hawaii, and a lot of it is still Hawaii traditional food. Like he made this Hawaii his the Royal Hawaiian special he made the other day, which had lau lau, kalua pig, lomi
Mm,
salmon, chicken long rice. So like he still stays true to like the Hawaii stuff, but he puts his flavor on it, you know. And
that's
and that's
awesome.
why like I feel like it's probably not probably it is the best Hawaii street food that I've had in since I've been, you know.
So for creativity wise, when you're doing these things, how much input do you get in for those kind of projects?
As far as input from chef,
Or for the film itself?
honestly, like again, it's a lot. Sometimes it's me running it, and sometimes it's him. You know, like
Yeah.
it depends. Like it all depends. Like sometimes I will be just blank. Like fuck, what are
Yeah.
we gonna do? What is the direction? And then he's like, I got it. Literally, that's all he was saying. I got it. And so like, okay, I turn the camera on, and then we just roll.
Cool.
And then once he starts going, and I start getting going with it, like, okay, maybe this is what we'll add, or maybe this is what we should take out, or because now, excuse me, we do have a lot of retakes now, you know, just to get it
Uh
right,
yeah.
so it sounds good. It's not, you know, like everything is professional, because that's what we got to treat ourselves as professionals, you know. So at that point, like it just kind of comes to us, you know. And it's funny, like there's like I said, there's days where it's all on him, and I'm like, fuck, okay. As he's talking, I'm like, now I'm getting the idea. I just let him flow. And there's days where it's me, you know, like I said, and we just kind of figure it out together.
That's cool. So from moving forward, like how do you see your skills getting better and transitioning into the future? Like for video and also editing, like what do you want to try to capture, and like how do you want to do things better? Or you're, because I know you saying you're still learning, so you
Yeah.
must have a vision how you want things to be in the future.
So my dream like job would be, it was to do like long form documentary, especially
Mm.
like National Geographic. Um, not more so like the animals, but more so the cultures. Like going to indigenous places, like where people haven't been in years, or haven't even actually interacted with like other people. And I get this passion from like our culture as Hawaii people. There's not
Yeah.
enough. There's not enough out there, you know, that to show. I mean, there is, you know, but I want to add to it. I want to add
Yeah.
more to our Hawaiian culture, and like I see myself getting into that kind of style, like more of a documentary style, because that's my passion. I love to tell a story, you know, like I love to talk stories, and I don't call myself a director or anything. I'm just a good storyteller, you know, like I just like to tell stories. And like the stuff we do with chef, and the stuff I do with other people, like I work with this guy named Mahi, you know, he's also great to work with, and
Oh, the
whatnot.
singer,
So
I know him. Yeah.
yeah.
He's
So
the
he's
biggest singer I ever met, right? He's yoked.
yeah, right. For real, dude.
Yeah.
And so yeah, like it's dope. Like I just tell their story. You know, like I just enhance their storytelling. Like I honestly don't even think I'm a videographer or cinematographer or whatever terms there is. I just like to tell a good story. And I think that's what drives me, and that's what I want to showcase, is like my ultimate dream job would be like a National Geographic job with
Yeah.
going to like cultures that enhances and like to show like the world like and honestly the first video or documentary or whatever it is like to show as far as culture would be like a Hawaiian documentary. I don't
Yeah.
know what it is or what it will be, but that would be my first like big thing that I want to capture is something to do with Hawaii to educate, to educate people about the history of Hawaii or even what's going on now with Maui, like maybe
Yeah.
that's calling something to do with that, and whatnot. But at the moment, yeah, like honestly, I don't know. I don't know. I think I don't want to set my expectation for myself. Like
Yeah. Sky's the
I
limit.
feel like just like exactly like like the mentality chef has with like taking over, like that's what I'm trying to do with my career. Like I'm trying to take over, like I'm trying to create a big company and big business to where I can disappear. Like
So
I don't want to, that's why I like being behind the camera. So I don't got to be in front of it. Like
yeah.
this whole thing right here is like, this is totally out of my comfort zone. And that's why I talk a lot
Nah,
and
it's
I'm nervous. I
perfect, bro.
talk a lot. Yeah.
But
But
that's one of the main things I wanted to hear, bro. I wanted to hear, which I kind of already knew. You're not going to ever be complacent, but you do have goals and dreams that you'll start checking off those boxes, and that'll keep you hungry. And like you said, leveling yourself up on a daily. And bro, I'm super interested to see how you take this career. I'm already stoked. And like when I first started watching your stuff, I was like, oh, that's cool. And then to where it is now, and it's like, bro, you leveled up immensely. And to to even think how it's gonna be in 2 3 years and what you're doing in 2 3 years, bro. I'm excited to see it. And yeah, I'm a fan and I'll be watching, but
appreciate
the
that, bro.
bro, it's the same work ethic you always had. And I wanted to ask you before we go is do you ever, not to get stuck in a rut or to get complacent, but do you ever look back at your older videos and watch them and be like, bro, I literally have grown so much from that to where I am now? And like, do you get proud of yourself, bro? Do you feel like, brah, I know I'm gonna be better, but as of right now, I'm proud of what I've done thus far.
And honestly, that's something that I gotta work on. Cause yeah and no. Cause I saw where I got myself till today, and I cannot wait to see what's gonna happen in the
Yeah.
next. So, bro, honestly, I've been full on like doing this shit for 2.5 years. Like, COVID is when I started picking up and doing shit, and so I never expected to be where I'm at today. I never
Yeah.
expected any of this shit, and I'm like, fuck, imagine what I'm gonna do in the next couple years. Imagine what I'm gonna do in 4 years, 6 years, in 10 years. Like, fuck, if I get this, I not if I have this same work ethic, like it when I hear people like my friends say, like, fuck, it's so dope. Like, you're not the only one. And honestly, like, there's been many times where I wanted to quit. Like,
Yeah.
financially wise, it sucked for a while. Like, I took a risk, and there's been many a times where I was like, fuck this. Bartending was way easier. Bartending
Yeah.
was way easier. But every time like I felt that, I met someone or I got in contact with an old friend or whatever it was, and they're like, fuck, dude, what you're doing is really dope.
Yeah.
And honestly, those are upon what Chef does and what he motivates me to be better. Like, it's the people like that help me to stay doing what I'm doing. And even till today, like, we as human beings, we all have our ups and downs, and it could just be daily ups and downs, right? But if it wasn't for like shit, I would have never thought I'd be on a podcast tonight. Like, in a million years, like doing like not even like, but I never expected to be where I'm at, and so I'm so grateful for it all, and that's why like I'm only I'm that's why I can't stop. Like
Yep.
honestly, like I'll a lot of people I don't show what I do a lot with work wise, but I fucking work hard.
Yep.
And then I don't pat myself on the back enough. I guess this can be like a time where I pat myself on the back, but that's why me and Chef work well together because he works hard and he
Yeah.
motivates me to work hard. He motivates me like fuck. He's the kind of local boy I was when I grew up, and fuck, why not me?
Yep. Why
Why
not
not
me,
me? So
bruh?
I'm like, fuck, bro, fuck this. Like everybody started from somewhere, so why I cannot start? Like it's never too late to start, and it's dope that I found something that I love doing at 32. And I wouldn't take back any of my past, any of it, because if it wasn't for it, I wouldn't be where I am today.
Yep. For sure, man. Well, last thing, bro. How did you come up your name of your company?
So I've I honestly was going through a bunch of like different ways, but originally it was actually like it was gonna be like holo holo because that's what I was doing during COVID, right? I
Oh
was
yeah.
just ripping it everywhere. So like, okay, it's gonna be something holo holo. And like, nah, people are gonna butcher that. They're gonna say it wrong, and that's gonna be a bigger pet peeve of me. Like if they're pronouncing it wrong. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go with my last name is Kualii. So I was gonna go Ali'i Films, like Chief Films,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
again, so it's funny when I get called by like any like telemarketer, they're like, "Is this Regan Kuali'i?" I'm like, "Yo," I hang up real quick because I hate that they pronounce it wrong. Like,
Yeah.
so that's why I chose cool because cool ali'i. And when I looked up the word cool, it had like to stand strong, to stand what you believe in. And I was like, fuck, that's what I'm doing right now. I believe that I'm going to be more than a household name. Like I'm going to be a fucking world name videographer or whatever it is, right? Storyteller.
Yep.
And
Yep.
that's why I was like, fuck. And everybody but can pronounce cool. So that's why
Yep.
I chose cool. I was like,
And
it's
it's
in my
cool,
last name.
bruh.
Yeah, and and honestly, like it's this probably the first time it's gonna be out there, but I'm actually changing it. It's
Oh,
cool
really?
film. Yeah, cool films won't be cool films for very much longer. But that will be announced very soon that
Vaja.
what it's
Let me
gonna be.
know,
Yeah, like
bruh. Yep.
yeah, it's gonna be I'm excited. I'm super
Hey,
excited to see.
it's time to level up, bruh. Maybe you outgrown the name. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. And that's why like I'm I'm not I'm not sad about like having to change it because I know the bigger picture, and
Yep.
cool is still going to be in there, but it's going to be something a little different. No, it's not won't
Let's
be like,
go.
yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited to
Right
to to
on.
announce this. But yeah, it probably won't be announced for a little like a month or two.
Okay. Well, we've been going for about an hour, and I really appreciate you taking time out
Thank
and
you, bro.
coming on. I know, like you said, you're used to being behind the camera, but I feel like your story can inspire people. And like you said, why not me? Maybe somebody watching that can get that and do the same thing. Why not me, bruh? We are local people from Hawaii that have just as much ambition,
Mhm.
attitude, and determination and work ethic than anybody, as much as anybody else on this planet. But we have
Yeah,
aloha, and that could be the change, and people hearing
that
your story.
is
Yep.
that is the change. That is the
Yep.
change, and Maui showed it, and that's why like
Yep.
again, I'm not trying to extend it more than it should be, but and that's like after all that shit, I have never been more proud to be Hawaiian because to see that aloha spirit, dude,
Yep.
without like it wasn't just Hawaiian people, it was everybody.
Yep.
It was like the aloha spirit was so infectious during that time that it spread everywhere, and that was the most proud of being.
And
That was probably the time I was most proud to be Hawaiian. I mean, like
yep.
at that, like that's sick to see. Just the people of Hawaii gathered together, not knowing anybody and just fucking giving, and yeah, super excited to be able to do that in the next
Yep.
week.
And it shows, right? And I always say, look at the map, and you see Hawaii. It's the tiniest speck, but that thing radiates aloha, and that thing can get contagious just as much as
Yeah,
anything else, Brian.
exactly.
If it can't happen with us, then it will never happen. So
A
thanks for
question:
coming on. Yo, what's up?
is that a super dry T-shirt you have on, or is it some? Is it the like you guys use that? Is that
No,
like
no,
a
no.
super
This is
dry?
this is this is super dry. It's a cotton. Yeah,
Okay,
Defend
I was
Hoy.
like, "Nah,
Shout
that's a
out to
sick one.
Defend Hoy.
I like the super high. That's
Yep.
even like, that's
I
why I had
got
to
you,
ask.
bruh. Yep.
Yes,
When you guys coming down in a few days, bro, just we'll stop by
yeah,
Chris's store. Yep.
dudes, I'm
Yep.
down. I
Yeah,
grudge.
this they're one of their new ones, bro. Shout out to
I
Defend
like it.
Hawaii. Yep,
I like
check
it.
them
Dude. It's
out.
sick.
Yep, yep. And yeah, we'll be seeing you soon. But where can people find you on Instagram or whatever platform you have personally? And where can people find you on social media?
Basically, I only have Instagram. I have more time to manage anything else.
Yeah,
I
me
just
too, bro.
but like I had to choose one, which was Instagram. So you can go KU_films, or if you follow Ipono Cafe, you can see all my shit from there too. So but yeah, dude, like I only got Instagram, so I don't got time to worry about anything else.
Yeah.
And that's the only one. Yeah, cool films, and I got some contact info on there if you're looking to get closer. You got to get in contact with me. It's all on my Instagram.
Oh, right on. And for us, it's the same. Above the Bridge podcast on Instagram, our YouTube channel, and atbpod.com is our website. And my personal Instagram is Thaddy Daddy High. Bro, Daddy, bro. I appreciate you, man. I'm looking forward to seeing you this week. And yeah,
Thank
hopefully
you,
you
bro.
guys can
Same.
come out to district. And bro, I'm excited to see where you take this, because like you said, no cap, sky's the limit. And the work ethic and passion, bro. It's cool to see somebody I know find their passion and living it, bro. And I've met so many people and so few do it, bro. And to see you succeed at what you love to do is a trip, man. And it's something a boy from Hilo is shooting for the moon, and can't get better than that, dude.
Hilo all the way, baby.
Yep. Right on. Well, shakas for the camera, man.
Yes, sir.
Right on, bro. We're out. Shout out to the Artist Group Network. Aloha, brother.
Yeah, boys.